Have you ever stopped to wonder what secrets your favorite AI tools might be hiding? I mean, really hiding. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the language models that we use every single day, and we're going to uncover a really sophisticated threat that can literally force them to reveal their most sensitive training data. Okay, so before we dive in, just a quick but super important heads up. This is part 2 of a 5-part tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC, and it's all for educational purposes. If you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, I highly recommend you check out the full PDF course document. It has way more detail than we can possibly get into here.
So let me just ask you this. We know an AI can learn from our data, right? But can it also be forced to leak it? Well, the answer is a resounding yes. And that's really the core problem we're going to dig into today. What are these AI tools hiding right there in plain sight?
And that brings us right to the central paradox of natural language processing, or NLP. You see, the very thing that makes these models so amazing, their ability to learn and talk like a human, is also, kind of ironically, their biggest weakness. So what happens when that incredible learning ability crosses a line and turns into a dangerous leak? This is where we meet the bad guy of our story, model inversion. Now, unlike other AI attacks you might have heard of, ones that mess with images or something, this is so much more direct. We are talking about an attack that reconstructs the actual words an AI was trained on. Think about that. Private messages, company secrets, you name it. It happens because sometimes the model doesn't just learn a concept, it basically memorizes specific things it saw during training. And that makes the privacy breach shockingly personal. To really see how this plays out, let's imagine a really high-stakes scenario. Picture this. A cutting-edge AI model used by a top-tier law firm, it's been trained on thousands and thousands of confidential contracts and legal documents. Now, that's not just data, that's an absolute treasure trove of corporate secrets. An attacker here isn't just smashing a window to get in. No, this is more like a methodical heist. It starts with reconnaissance. They do their homework on the AI. Then comes the clever part, prompt engineering. They start crafting these super specific queries, not asking for a whole contract, but for little bits and pieces. Through iterative refinement, they just keep tweaking those prompts again and again, slowly coaxing the AI to spill more details. Until finally, with data aggregation, they piece it all together like a puzzle. So what's the real-world damage from an attack like this? Honestly, it's devastating. We're talking about leaked negotiation tactics, secret merger targets getting exposed, and completely shattering attorney-client privilege. The fallout, from massive malpractice claims to losing a huge competitive advantage, it can be absolutely catastrophic for a company. But look, this isn't just a threat for the big corporations. This can get deeply, deeply personal. I mean, just think about all the AI out there that's been trained on our social media posts, our comments, maybe even our private messages. How could that data be twisted and turned against us? Well, it happens through a really insidious type of attack called attribute inference. Now with this one, the goal isn't even to steal your exact words. No, it's way more subtle. The attacker basically exploits how the AI understands language patterns to build a detailed profile of you. They can infer your age, where you live, maybe even your political views, all from the way you write online. The process itself is, well, it's chillingly systematic. It kicks off with data collection, just grabbing all your public posts. Then they move to model querying, where they strategically use your writing style as context to ask the AI questions. Through inference analysis of what the AI spits back, hidden traits start to emerge, allowing for a full reconstruction of private information you never ever meant to share. And why should this matter to you? Well, this inferred data is basically a weapon. It can be used to create these hyper-targeted phishing scams that are almost impossible to tell or fake. It can lead to discrimination, online harassment, and the creation of these shadow profiles that track you all over the web, often breaking major privacy laws like GDPR. Now, you've probably heard about prompt injection attacks, and it is absolutely crucial to understand that while they're in the same ballpark as model inversion, they are not the same thing. They're two totally different threats, but they both have the same ultimate target, your data. So let's break it down really simply. Prompt injection is all about manipulation. It's about tricking an AI into breaking its own programming, like getting it to ignore its safety filters. Model inversion, on the other hand, is about extraction. It's about exploiting the AI's memory to steal the data it was trained on. So put it this way, one hijacks the AI's actions, and the other steals its memories. But here's the real catch. These two threats aren't mutually exclusive. Oh no, a really sophisticated attacker can use them together. They can start with a prompt injection attack to sort of knock down the AI's defenses, which then opens the door and makes it way easier to launch a successful model inversion attack to grab the data. It's like a 1-2 punch. And that really brings us to the core challenge for all the security pros out there. Unlike a stolen password, which is pretty black and white, proving a text-based data breach is incredibly subtle. The line is often blurry. As the experts in this field point out, just figuring out if a genuine privacy breach has even happened requires this deep understanding of context, data sensitivity, and a whole bunch of complex regulations. So, I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. As we weave these powerful AI models deeper and deeper into our lives, we have to stop and ask ourselves, if an AI was trained on every email, every chat, every single private message you've ever sent, what secrets could it be forced to tell about you?